Gi-hun is a narcissist. I think this man has a very bad case of hero syndrome. Plus, it just doesn't look good when you abandon your kid to try and be Sherlock just to save a bunch of strangers. Matter of fact, player 456 is the real villain. Let me explain.
The Big Dipper.
This video will be delving into all 3 seasons. At the beginning of this series, he's a bum. The reason why his ex-wife left him is due to that reason. He has a crippling gambling addiction and her boyfriend takes better care of their kid. From the beginning, his own self-interest was guiding every decision he made. He was saying he wanted to help his mom, but eventually just ended up being about survival. This is the typical case when you have good intentions, but the longer you get involved in the scheme, you forget why you started. It's the same with his childhood friend who he ended up facing in the last episode of the first season. Intentions get blurred. It's nice to see how his personality gradually shifts through the seasons. In the first one, he's this naive guy who's whimsical and has a lot of hope. He was full of faith and thought that people aren't so bad. From the onset of season 2, he's on go. Gi-hun is a man on a mission. I think this hope was reignited once he met the old man for the last time during his deathbed scene. But I think him entering the game in the first season was all wishful thinking. At the end of the first season, he's a shell of his former self. His kid is gone, his ex-wife is gone, and most importantly, his mom is dead. It ended up being in vain because even though he won the games, he didn't touch the money because he considered it to be blood money. This is on par with the person who is friends with certain people for very specific reasons. They talk to them when it suits their own needs and wants. Once they get what they want, or if they don't, they feel bad for themselves. It's a toxic cycle. If Gi-hun lost the games, he was going to be a dead man. Him signing his life away to play the games just made him a dead man walking still. This has to be the epitome of a catch-22, but in all honesty, he deserves his failure. Season 2's premise was shaky from the get-go. What do you mean you want to stop the games? This is grandiose thinking. You're one man. You're just a millionaire who thinks that they're invincible. This man banded a group of small people together with no real plan. His only plan is to put a tracker on himself. Like, you really think that's smart thinking? But then again, this is the same guy who tried to ambush the frontman in his car. Gi-hun was doing things on a whim. That's being delusional to the core. This man's entire belief system was based on, it is what it is. He's the walking version of going with the flow. Also, this thing of him abandoning his kid still makes no sense to me. He had at least 3 years to go and see his kid. Why didn't he reschedule seeing her after he won the first time? I get it, he was down in the dumps, but you can't be moping around forever. Plus, he had years to go and be a proper father. Instead, this red hair gave you an ungodly level of confidence, so you just decided to not board the plane. When you look at it closer, you realize that this dude just wanted the glory, because technically speaking, even if you did stop the games, what was going to happen next? There were probably going to be a bunch of articles written about you, you end up getting more money. Guess we'll never know. I see this discourse on the net that Gi-hun embodies all the characteristics of a moral person, that he's this good guy, but I don't think so. If that was the case, he wouldn't have lied to player 1 during the marble game. He has some parallels with the frontman. The most common one being that they both share this innate survival instinct. As much as 456 wants to be morally superior, him and the frontman are like 2 sides of the same coin. One is just really unhinged, like really unhinged. Gi-hun doesn't even visit his mom's grave. He doesn't even try to text his kid or message her. He calls her during season 2, but it's just sad and awkward. But he only has himself to blame. He was absent for a long time and never really explained his whereabouts. It's quite ironic how Gi-hun possesses a lot of traits that would label him as a narc, but he also has the complete opposite. So with that in mind, you could say he's got the perfect equilibrium like most people. I just find it odd that in the 3rd season, his final monologue was actually so grandiose and trying to send a message, but it just made this guy look melodramatic. Exaggerated self-importance is a very common trait among narcs. Like, this entire speech was just pure theatrics. Even the way he fell was just so unnecessary. It is on par with something a rookie playwright would conjure up. It's a full circle moment. He was going on about how everyone here is a human and not a horse. At the start of this series, he was at a horse race / betting event. Gamblers tend to be self-absorbed. So with that being said, 456 deserved his failure. He's a fraud with a rather questionable moral compass. Did y'all see the way that this man was clinging onto that baby? This mere child has no name. You've never shown your biological kid this kind of affection. I get it, the baby's innocent, it did no wrong, but I was just there like, bruh, this is not the time to want to play social worker. Am I salty that Gi-hun didn't go to see his kid? Yes. Yes, I am. Now she's one day going to be an OF star in South Korea, all because her dad missed one birthday too many. He literally lost everything and gave it up for a baby with no name. As selfless as that may seem, in the grand scheme of things, that just seems like a sense of entitlement. Hear me out, hear me out. I, Gi-hun, failed to put a stop to the games, so I'm going to go out in dramatic fashion, but at least I saved the baby, I made the sacrifice, I was the valiant hero. When I saw him on the ground, I was just there like, you are a sore loser. Anyways, we all know who the real winner of Squid Game is. This guy. He got to see his kid and he survived Squid Game, and he had this woman willing to risk her life for him. I'm kinda jealous of his game. Where can I find a North Korean who wants to risk it all for me, huh?
Hey, if you enjoyed this video, consider watching one of the two on your screen right now. And don't forget, villains tell the best stories.